Yo sup, so as you've read in the title, in this rather quick video I'll be walking you through a pretty cool way to actually double your sales on demand if you're making anything in between 30 to 100k per month with your particular business. Now, I suggest that you go ahead and close every other tab that you have open so that you can really focus on this video. I'd also suggest that you note stuff down that I'm going to be talking about in this video, because this information that I'm gonna give to you in these next few minutes have taken me well over 2 years to discover in this whole marketing and direct response space. So it's gonna be insanely valuable. I should probably charge you for this, however, since this is one of my first few videos, it'll be free for you to watch. I'll maybe have a background music playing on here to make it more entertaining to watch. However, let's just get straight to it. Now, as promised, in this video I'll be laying out an astonishingly simple way to almost double your sales on demand. Now, before we get into this, we gotta understand something that most business owners miss, especially when it comes to the whole marketing space, and that is that great marketing always starts with your customer. Way too many people that I know, they start marketing through their products and they start advertising their products, and when they try to come up with a new product idea, they fail to think about who it is that they're trying to serve with that product. Because at the end of the day, you can have the best product on earth, but that won't do anything for you if nobody buys it. So we gotta understand, before we start this whole process, who are your customers? Where do they reside? Where do they live? How old are they? Which age are they? And so on and so forth. What is it that they actually want? And we also gotta understand the conversation that is already going on inside their heads. Because when we understand that conversation, we can enter the conversation that they have inside their heads through our marketing efforts. And that's a really powerful angle in order to sell right there. Now, once we know our customers, we are already ahead of most business owners that I know for sure. Now we need to create a marketing system. But first of all, we gotta understand what a good system even means. Now, this right here is Dan Kennedy's definition of a good system. Dan Kennedy is a rather famous guy in the marketing and direct response space, so he knows what he's doing. And his definition of a good system is the following: reliable, predictable, consistent system that affordably and efficiently provides an abundant quantity of quality prospects, customers, clients. That right there is an effective marketing system, and we should always judge the systems that we create based on this definition right there. Because more often than not, when we judge our systems like that, we can prevent inconveniences from happening. We can kind of test our systems out. We can check if they were worth putting out there. Now, what systems do we actually need to create for particular offers? There are three main systems that you need to have. The first being an attraction system. This could be anything that gets people into your world. That could be Facebook ads, Google AdWords, direct mail, postcards, content, whatever it might be. Something that allows you to pull people into your world and close them later down the line. And on that note, the second system that we need is some kind of closing system, something that allows us to convert the traffic that we have just driven towards our offer. And the last, and arguably the most important system that most people miss, is your retention system. You need to have a way that allows you to maximize the revenue that you make from every single one of your customers. Because you can either spend valuable time attracting new customers, spending time, resources, and energy, or you could just have a system in place that allows you to make more money from the customers that you already have. That is way easier, way more effective, and also it doesn't make you want to pull your hair out, because customer acquisition can be painful sometimes. Now, with all that being said, now that you've got all of this set up, here's how to double your sales on demand. Most coaches and business owners, they look at their business like the following. They usually have some kind of traffic source. Whether that be ads, direct mail, content, Google AdWords, doesn't really matter. They drive that traffic towards a consult. where they get to know the prospect, where they try to close them. And from that consult, they usually turn the prospect into a new client for their business. Now that's all fine, well and dandy. This process will usually make sales as it is already. Let's just say you make 200 opt-ins from the ads that you have created. From those 200 opt-ins, let's say you book 20 consults, which is 10% right there. Not too shabby. And out of those 20 consults, let's say you close 50% of them. Meaning that out of 200 opt-ins, you have just created 10 clients. That's not bad by any means. However, here's how marketers look at this whole process. First of all, the structure stays the same. We still have traffic, we still drive that traffic to a consult and then close them on that consult to become a client. However, as you see in this little graphic, we can add a few steps in between that allow us to close more people down the line. Now, the very first step is that when we drive traffic towards our consult, towards some kind of lead magnet, we can first of all collect our prospect's info, meaning their name and their email. Step 2 is once we have collected their email, once we have collected their general info, we can also collect their phone number and so on and so forth to really gain all of the info that our prospects have so that we can take advantage of that later down the line. Now, with their contact, we can then send them something that I call the Varangian marketing machine. This is essentially this time and space where you want to create and send value to your prospects. Let's say you have collected your prospect's email in step number 2 and step number 1. In that case, you could send reports, guides, videos, trainings, or some kind of newsletter to your prospects to build that relationship with these people. Now, once a prospect has booked a consult with you for your product or your service, before they even hop on that consult, we should set up a warm-up email sequence. Because we have collected their info, we can put them on a warm-up email sequence that essentially tells our story, gives social proof, answers frequent questions, and handles common objections that people might have when they first hop on the sales call with you, so that you or your sales reps don't have to deal with that many objections. And the reason we want to warm up our prospects like this is because it can tremendously increase our show-up rate on these calls. Because just because someone has booked a call with you, that doesn't mean they're going to show up, right? However, let's say they do. Let's say they do show up, but they don't buy from our very first call. What we can do then is set up an appointment no-sale sequence, which is essentially a series of emails that your prospects get after that first consult that builds a further relationship, gives more value, and maybe pitches them some other course, some other kind of product that is further down or further up your value ladder to still get that sale from them. And once you build that relationship through this no-sale sequence, maybe then they're ready to buy. Maybe then they're ready to turn into a client, or maybe they even buy a more expensive program from you, because now they trust you. Now let's crunch some numbers. Let's say you still have the same 200 opt-ins from your ads and your traffic generating sources. With all these new systems in place, with your warm-up email sequence, with your Varangian marketing machine, let's say you book 40 consults. And 40 of those people actually show up because you have a warm-up sequence in place that allows you to warm your people up and make them way more likely to show up on your calls. Now you just doubled the number of consults just through smart marketing. And let's say your closing rate stays the same. Now you have 20 new clients from the very same 200 opt-ins you initially had, meaning that we have literally doubled your clients from 10 to 20 through the use of simple marketing systems like these right here. I hope you found this video useful in some way, because now you literally have all the info that you're ever going to need to double your sales on demand. Now, for most folks, the only problem that usually remains is implementation, right? You can have all the information in the world, But it won't really matter unless you go ahead and actually implement what it is that you learn. So, in case you'd like me to deploy this system for you, just like I did for my guy right here, then you can click the link below in the YouTube description where you can go ahead and book a call with me to see if this would even work for you. This isn't going to be some kind of guru sales call, it's going to be a genuine conversation, just me and you, talking about a business to see if I could actually even help you with this system, because there are some people that I can't do that much for. I believe you know what I mean with that, right? The best part is I actually currently have a case study group going on where I will work for free with 2 clients this March to help them add another zero to their business in 60 days or less. And it is completely free, you don't have to pay me a penny. I just document the process and turn it into another case study in case it works. I hope this video was useful in some way. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments, and I hope this helps, and see you.